call the November 4th, 2024 meeting for the City Council for the City of Lake City to order. Everybody will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or remain standing for the invocation.
Which is the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather and conduct the business of our community. We ask for your guidance in our deliberations and give guidance to the new members that are coming on soon. We ask that you look after our first responders and our troops, and in your name we pray. Amen. Let's like to call the roll.
Mr. Jernigan? Mr. Hill?
Here.
Ms. Young? Here. Mr. Carter?
Present.
Mayor Witt?
Here.
City Manager Rosenthal?
Here.
City Attorney Martin?
Here.
Chief Butler?
Here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lake City Council has opened this public meeting since 1968. City code has prohibited any person from making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the City Council. Yelling or making audible comments from the audience constitutes boisterous conduct. Such conduct will not be tolerated. There's only one approved manner of addressing the City Council, that's to be recognized and speak from the podium. As a reminder, persons are not to openly carry a handgun or carry a concealed weapon or firearm while the governing body's meeting. Failure by these rules of decorum will result in removal from the meeting. Okay, next is approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda. Second.
Motion second to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We don't have any proclamation, but I do want to recognize me and Mr. Jernigan went to the American Legion for the Purple Heart ceremony and declared Lake City Purple Heart City. And I got this plaque and it says, the Military Order of the Purple Heart Special Recognition Award is bestowed with pride to the city of Lake City, Florida for the dedication and support honoring America's combat wounded veterans becoming the Purple Heart City, presented by the Patriot members, Robert C. Paget, Chapter 524, Jacksonville, Florida. It was a very good ceremony. Okay, public participation. I have Ms. Goggins you signed up for items 4 and 5, but those are on the consent agenda, so I'm gonna let you just speak on both items at this time.
Okay. Is it my time now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening to the council, Mayor Witt, and to each of you. My name is Betty Goggins, resident of Camp Street. I'm standing first because I ran out of time the last time, and it made me feel a little way because I did not thank Mr. Rosenthal and Mr. Jernigan for doing a ride through down Camp Street. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but they came and actually rode down that road, and I'm going to read from the Lake City Reporter in the year 2022, where my friend over here, Mr. Browns, had ranked in the city. He looked at the roads throughout the city and ranked them on terms of being in the worst condition, which he said was James Montgomery Avenue, which has since been fixed. Other roads included Alexander Boulevard, Camp Street, Marsh Terrace, Chapel Hill, Grandview, and Patterson Street, which I wanted to address is so well done. And I want to thank the Department of Transportation for doing that street. I can only hope that Camp Street would look like that one day, because it is a street that is a main artery from Melrose Park Elementary and a daycare that goes from that street, which is Ermine, all the way through up into Main Street and across the road to First Street. So with that in mind, I want the council to consider and please really, since we didn't get the grant, because that was in the works in 2023, 2024, it was turned down, I think, so here we are again. I would like for funds that you may have in your ARPA. I noticed that you've used some for senior home repairs and funds. I would love for you all to please have funds available for Camp Street. It was listed as being in the worst condition, and it is. So this is where, once again, I'm standing before the board in hopes that this can be done.
You want to talk on items 4 and 5, go ahead and do that.
Yes, on item 3. Sorry, I looked at my paper. On item 3,
You had 4 and 5.
Mr. Patterson,
Uh,
item 3 and 4.
okay,
Patterson, I just wanted to say that I was thankful that this street was done. It was necessary that it's done because again, it's one of the main streets to be passed through in the neighborhood. And over in our neighborhood, which is Melrose Park neighborhood, we too have needs in that area. So I'm just hoping that it can be addressed because it hasn't been. The last time Mr. Brown was here, he said it was on the radar. So I just wanted to know, where is it on the radar?
If I could say, we look at Patterson Street, look, can somebody say how long it took the process to get Patterson Street paved? It wasn't overnight. It wasn't a year, it wasn't 2 years. It's a process. It takes a while. And everybody, all of us has probably gone down Camp Street, and it's not that we're overlooking it or not concerned. As a matter of fact, I ride Camp Street every morning, every day of the week, taking my child to school. And there is a need. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the worst street. It's not the worst street, but there is a need that it deserves some attention. So I still like to say that it's in the process. Sometimes process takes longer than what we desire, but it's not an overlook.
Thank you, Sister. Thank you. And again, I want to thank Mr. Rosenthal as well. He's new to the council, and he took the time out also, Mr. Jernigan, to ride the same streets that I go up and down every day in the residence course. And it makes a difference, because I don't want this to fall on deaf ears. It becomes frustrating when I have to ask Mr. Brown sometimes, where are we with Camp Street? And he's always willing to, take a call here or there. And it is a process. I understand that, because in the year 2022, here we are, 2024. So I have the residents, the constituents in that area have been patient.
so Mr. Brown, did you want to,
Mayor, if I may. Mayor, councils, so everything that you just said is exactly accurate. That is true. The comment that I put in the newspaper, there was a little bit of a difference to that because we were going to do Camp and Marsh as an intersection, and we did that intersection. But to do the whole road, Ms. Young, you're exactly right. It's usually about a 3-year process, especially if you're looking for government funding, which is what we were researching. We've got 2 roads done that way. We got Grandview and we got Patterson. So we are actively working. What we've done this year so far is we've just started our new calendar year on the paving cycle. So far, we've got Coach Anders. It's the only road that we've got completed as of this calendar year, but we're only 4 weeks in, so we're doing pretty good. What we're going to do is reevaluate the whole list. There are some roads at the top of that list that we're going to have some contractors go out and look at those roads and determine if they can be put off for another year or so and reallocate those funds, which I'll bring back to you guys for permission at that time. So we are actively addressing it. But in order to follow the process of the DOT funding, you're kind of at their mercy. So that was really a big hole.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask one
Yeah.
question? So Grandview and Patterson were both funded, at least in part, by grants. Do we know what it is about those roads that got approval that it's not on this one, or is?
I do not. The county got several roads this year paid for the Scott grant process. But we put it in we put them in a year or two in advance. So these roads were put in 2000 to get done in 2022, for example. So some of these have been in the works for a while. But it's the process of the draw. We put in grants all the time. Mr. Rosenthal was constantly having us put in grants. We get some of them and we don't get some of them. So the first thing you want to do, there are advantages to having DOT grants. The engineering is paid for, the CEIs are paid for, so there's a lot of cost associated with that. However, you have to follow their guidelines. You have to do it their way every time. What we'll do differently is we're gonna have contractors actually look at the road now and see if we can mill and pave it. We're gonna do it in 2 sections. And I've talked to Ms. Goggins about that. She has hard work with that, but we're gonna try and do it up to Main and then do the next section last so that way we can break it up. But the whole road will be paved. We're just trying to look at in-house services now. So it's just a process.
Steve, before you take a seat, Washington Street, I know that's state, isn't it? County, but if you get a chance tomorrow, you think about it, you know where, y'all went the other day, Mr. Mizell's place, took down that palm tree. It's a couple of serious dips in that road, like they're sinking. You might, take a look at them. They were doing about like, what's that, FAMU, I wanna say? You might, they fix FAMU and then it's doing basically about the same thing, so maybe so.
Shall I give out this also? This was, the breakdown of what it costs for Camp Street. Would you like all want it?
Well, that really tends to change.
It is
Yeah,
outdated.
that tends to change.
So thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's all I have signed up. Next is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve consent agenda. Sir.
Motion second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, presentation, Northeast Florida League of Cities, President Movement Forum.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, community, staff. Thank you all for having us. I am Commissioner Rufus Bourne, City of Palatka, the President of the Northeast Florida League of Cities. And I'd like to ask the honor to have Councilmember Jake Hill to come down for this presentation. Also, I'd like to recognize our board members and past board members that we have with us today. We have Tom DeVille, Penny Farms. He's current on our board, and he's a the mayor in Penny Farms. Jake Hill, he's current board member as well. And we got Travis, who's Travis Woods. He's from Stark. We want you guys to come up with past board member John Bowles from Orange Park, and past board member Susanna Thompson from Orange Park. Also, we have Danny Nugent from Stark. He's a current board member. And also we have, and we got Betsy Driggers, who's our executive director. Without these guys, without Jake, all of these guys wouldn't be here. So Jake is the reason for this season. So with that being said, I have a plaque here, and it reads, the Northeast Florida League of Cities, resolution number 2024-01, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Northeast Florida League of Cities honoring Jake Hill Jr. for his years of service on the Northeast Florida League Board of Directors, as well as the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors as District 2 representative. Whereas Jake Hill Jr. has served 3 4-year terms as District 12 council member of the City of Lake City, from 2008 to 2012. In 2016 to 2020, in 2020 and to 2024. And whereas Councilmember Jake Hill Jr. was appointed to the Northeast Florida League Board of Directors July 15, 2017, and has served as director continuously until the present. And whereas Northeast Florida League of Cities Director Jake Hill Jr. has represented the Northeast Florida League of Cities as District 2 representative on the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors beginning in June 2020, continuously until the present. And whereas Jake Hill Jr. has served both the Northeast Florida Board of Directors and the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors faithfully and with merit, also having served as the Northeast Florida League of Cities Board of Directors Vice President for the 2021 and through 2022 term of office. And whereas Jake Hill Jr.'s term of office as District 12 representative on the City Council of the City of Lake City will come to an end on November 18th, 2024. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Directors of the Northeast Florida League of Cities, on behalf of its membership, both past and present, the title of honorary lifetime member, together with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, is thereby bestowed upon Jake Hill Jr. Together with congratulations, sincere appreciation, and heartfelt gratitude for meritorious service of the Northeast Florida League of Cities, resolved, passed, and adopted by the Northeast Florida League of Cities Board of Directors and presented on this 4th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2024. By Rufus Borum is President, Connie Butler, Vice President, Michelle Myers, Secretary Treasurer, Tony Brown, Director, Tom DeVille, Director, Louis Davis, Director, Sean Lynch, Director, Danny Nugent, Director, Wynette Sandlin, Director, Nancy Sykes-Klein, Director, Fred Simone, Director. With that being said, we would like to just give Jake Hill a big round of applause for all of the service he's provided, not only to the Northeast Florida League of Cities, but he's also done that for the Florida League of Cities, as well as his community here that he served every day. So Jake, we can't thank you enough for what you've done and what you'll continue to do. Thank you, and we love you.
Man, y'all just took my breath away. Glad to see y'all tonight. Again, this is a pleasant surprise. I appreciate everything that you all have done for me. Appreciate working with you all. And I'll still be around. But again, thank y'all for coming. This means so much to me. Thank you so much.
Jake, you need to be the seat up here. There you go. Come on, you can. Oh, can we so we can kind of look a little more uniform.
You can send it to me, that's.
Thank you.
Jake.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you.
We've got some more trips to take, we just don't know where yet. See the roof?
Mayor,
Yes,
could I say a few words?
absolutely.
First of all, this is an honor and privilege for all of us tonight. I think there's 7 of us here tonight. We represent 250 years plus of municipal service as city managers, council members, mayors, and so forth. And it's really neat to be on this side of the dais rather than sitting up there with you folks. We've got a friend in Jake, have been with him all over the state, the country, and so forth. And I'm telling you, you've got a good member there, and I hope that we're going to see more of Jake now that he's retired and has a little bit of time. But once again, we appreciate being here this evening, and this is really an honor for all of us to represent and speak to this fellow again. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming over.
That's all right.
Again, thanks, John, the crew. Thank y'all again for coming.
Now, Jake, did you also serve on the board of directors for Swanee River?
Oh, yes. I served on there for a couple of years.
So he's been active.
He was also
his
on
whole
the Fast
term.
Flying for state for the League of Cities for
Yes.
representing all the cities in the state.
Several times.
Awesome.
And they go to Washington DC.
On the comments, I wanna thank everybody for, working together. The staff has been wonderful all these years, and I've really appreciated it. It's been real rewarding. It's been an honor to get to serve. And I'm leaving you in good hands with Noah.
I'd like to say a few words. This is my last official meeting, and I appreciate working with each and every one of you. And if I can be of any assistance to any of you, I'm just a phone call away. Again, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you.
You too. All right, anybody else?
Real quick, first, Jake, Mr. Mayor, thank you guys for serving the city for an awful long time. We've been blessed to have y'all. I'd like to just reiterate what Ms. Phillips was talking about, earlier. This weekend, really cool event happening in the park. Hope everybody comes out. There is a barbecue contest, of which somehow I would just like to point out, I have been deemed not qualified to judge. Apparently, it's very serious stuff. I have to protest, but I am honored to be a judge of that pie contest, which I do believe I'm uniquely qualified to judge. So y'all come out, it's gonna be a hoot. And that's it, thank you.
Anybody else? Thank y'all. Yes, ma'am.
I have, 2 years I've said, and I've really learned, I've gotten to know people, Mayor. I really appreciate you, I've learned a lot. Hill, I've learned a lot, I've gotten sick of him, he's gotten sick of me. But I have really enjoyed working, on this council, and, people think we just sit, but there's a lot of work, behind these, tables, and I've really been inspired by these two gentlemen. And really hate to see them go, but all good things come to an end. I appreciate you all.
I've enjoyed working with y'all. All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.